You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
All set for your flight?
Yep, I've got everything I need. Eye mask, neck pillow, T-Mobile, headphones.
Wait, T-Mobile?
You bet. Free in-flight Wi-Fi. 15% off all Hilton brands. I never go anywhere without T-Mobile. Same goes from a water bottle, chewing gum, nail clippers,
okay,
passport.
I'm gonna leave you to it.
Find out how you can experience travel better at T-Mobile.com/travel.
Qualifying plan required. Wi-Fi were available on select U.S. airlines. Deposit and Hilton Honors membership required for 15% discount. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge.
Take one.
Take one.
Good job.
I'm Jeff. That was Ken joining me in the studio, and I'm also joined today by Neil. How are you gentlemen doing?
Pretty good. Kind of turning over a new leaf in my life and kind of embracing the holistic stuff. Dropped some essential oils in my diffuser today. And I think they're called essential oils because essentially you're just throwing your money in the garbage. Right?
What kind of oils are we talking here? Like peppermint?
A little peppermint, little tea tree, little lemon peel.
Lemon peel? I bet you put some tea tree in your beard because it's very luscious.
No.
No? No tea tree oil?
Not today.
Oh, not today.
I do have some beard oils, though. But thank you for the compliment. Appreciate
you're welcome.
that.
And while the two of them fawn over each other, I'm going to introduce our guests. Joining us from just outside of St. Louis, but a fellow Illinoisian, Zach Nolick is our Triviality superstar. How are you doing today, Zach?
Is that how you pronounce that? Illinoisian?
I believe so.
Illinoisian
for me.
Yeah. Illinoisian.
Hi guys. Yeah, it's great. It's great to be on. Yeah, so I am in Glen Carbon, Illinois, which is a suburb of St. Louis on the other side of the Mississippi. My main job is tutoring high school kids in math. I do that for about 20 hours a week, and to make up the difference, I think my other job is probably more interesting. I work in sports statistics in the TV business, and so from time to time, if you're watching a baseball game and the announcer says something really interesting that you don't think he knew off the top of his head, there's somebody like me sitting next to him who just looked that up.
That's how the sausage is made.
I was going to say, so have you seen Men in Black?
Not for a long time.
Do you remember the little alien inside the guy's head? When you open up the guy's face, there's a little alien controlling everything. So you're basically Bob Costas' little alien. So he's really a fraud, is what you're saying.
Oh, I wish I had worked with Bob Costas. He's also a St. Louis guy, so who knows? I may get the chance at some point. But yeah, that would be a dream.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I never met anybody who did that, and I knew there was always somebody, but now I know.
Now you have.
Yeah. And so thank you, Zach. And also joining us, our other guest today, Caitlin Joyce. She's been on our show before on our Game of Thrones episodes that you would have heard. And she is a United States champion from Arlington, Virginia. How are you doing today, Caitlin?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Pretty good, thanks.
Welcome back.
Yes.
So we got to know you a little bit last time. Anything new since?
And in Las Vegas.
That's
for
true.
Geek Bowl. Yeah.
We did go to Geek Bowl.
Did a little karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I'm in Arlington, Virginia. I am an engineer for a company that makes software for pharma companies. So super interesting, like I told you last time. I've been getting more into training because I have about a month left until my half Ironman I'm doing in June. So getting there. And I also host trivia on Monday nights here in Arlington area out in Fairfax. So if anybody who's local, come see me. But yeah, no, nothing much different here.
And a fan of late 2010s emo, I believe, right? Or late 2000s emo?
Yes, a fan of late 2000s emo, yes.
Yeah, Matt was queuing up some of the emo karaoke songs, and Caitlin was pretty overjoyed.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's those are the fun ones.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, only one of us wears eyeliner in the studio, and he's not here today. Matt, it's Cinco de Mayo today, and Matt loves alcohol, obviously, and Cinco de Mayo.
Obviously.
And he went to a bar for Cinco de Mayo, but actually at the bar it was Cinco de Mayo, so he's a little sick because he had to eat a lot of mayo.
It was a weird promotion.
It was a weird Hellman's promotion.
It didn't help that he was already drunk the last 2 days, but...
Well, the mayo did not help, that's for sure.
It did not.
Speaking of promotions, lately we've been seeing a lot of Avengers Endgame stuff on the internet, on TV, in the movies, of course. So we thought we'd choose our team names based on that. The return of a character, which we missed in Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man, of course. But if you know anything about me and Neil, it's that we always fall a little bit short.
Yep.
So we're going to be Cant-Man today.
Yes.
Cant-Man.
Cant-Man.
Yeah, so in honor of the wonderful joke, hopefully this isn't a spoiler in the movie, about Captain America's ass, we are going to be Team America's ass.
There you go. America's ass and Cant-Man. Let's toss it over to the rules guy.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop!
That's America's voice right there.
That is. That Darren is, America's voice. Yeah.
No, this time we got Josh Brolin to do it as Thanos. So,
that'd basically be our budget for the next 20 years.
Forever.
Yeah.
By the way, listeners, there will not be any spoilers for Endgame on this episode.
Yes, no spoilers. Zach actually has not seen it. We've accidentally spoiled the entire movie for him, and we had to tell him on accident that it is a retelling of Macbeth. But no,
honestly, I appreciate it. That saved me the $10 I needed to go to the theater. I feel like I've seen it.
There you go.
$10. What theater are you going to?
He knows the statistics. I can't even say the word. It's just how terrible I am at.
This is going to go real well today.
Yep.
So if we are all ready, let's get into the game. So just as a preface, the first 10 questions of my game today are all listener-submitted questions. So thank you to everyone who submitted a listener-submitted question to me. If you'd like to submit one for any of our hosts, you can do so by emailing us at
trivialitypodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you, Neil, because I couldn't remember.
Saved his ass.
That's what I'm here for. And like we said before, we've been really appreciating all of you sending in questions that are not our forte. So me, science, history, things like that. Jeff, sports, film. That really helps us out when we're trying to think of questions. So that way we have a comparable difficulty level,
Yeah,
for
that is incredibly useful because I'm not good at writing these. So thank you. Also, for anybody, if you feel offended that I changed your question, please don't. I made them easier for our hosts and guests because
Cant-Man, just remember.
Yep,
because of Cant-Man. So, first question. Israel Schatz asks, inspired by a Pistons game this season where they scored just 8 points in a quarter, what is the fewest amount of points scored by a professional NBA team in a quarter? Not for nothing, and if it's any help, this feat has been accomplished twice. The Mavericks did it in '97 against the Lakers, and the Warriors in 2004 against the Raptors.
Okay, we are going to lock in with a guess that's between 0 and 8.
So I don't think this would be too low. I don't think it would be lower than 5. I think 5 or 6 is probably a good guess.
I was thinking 6 just because like 2 points per basket kind of thing most of the time. So, I was thinking
6 was the number that I was leaning towards too. So let's go for it.
All right, let's do 6.
And we are going to say 1 basket lower at 4.
All right, so the Pistons did pretty appallingly at 8, and it wasn't for nothing, but twice 2 teams have scored only 2 points. A single basket in a single quarter.
Wow.
That's unfortunate.
This was an off day.
2 off days.
Yeah, true.
Were they playing against the Harlem Globetrotters?
They were not. Second question in the round comes from Josh Head, and he wants to know, If you want to get high and never come down, you should probably visit the country of Lesotho, as it has the highest low elevation point on Earth at 1,400 meters. What country completely surrounds the small nation of Lesotho?
You got this, right?
I can lock this in.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh.
So what continent do we think Lesotho is on?
Lesotho.
I'm saying Asia or Africa.
Yeah, I could see that. Lesotho. And we're talking about the highest low elevation point, you said?
Correct. It is the highest country on Earth.
You know what? Let's say that
By
it's
low elevation.
maybe crammed up there, like by Pakistan and India and like that region. So let's say maybe India.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Unfortunately, you guys are in the wrong continent. It is actually down in Africa, and the country that completely surrounds it is South Africa.
That is correct. Team America's ass getting 10 points on that one. It is the country of South Africa.
Yeah, my Leonardo DiCaprio Blood Diamond movie knowledge did not help me on that one, that's for sure.
Didn't run deep enough.
So South Africa has one full enclaved country and one partial enclaved country, and Lesotho is the largest country to be completely surrounded by another country, the smallest obviously being Vatican City.
Interesting.
Okay.
2 million people live there.
In Lesotho?
Thank you, Josh, for that question, although we do know that it was Henry who wrote that question.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Henry, for that question.
Henry.
Nice try, Josh.
All right, question 3 comes to us from Luke McKay. With a name like Robert Underdunk Twirliger Jr. and his size 22 shoes, it sounds like this Simpsons character would be right at home on the basketball court. However, Robert is better known as what Simpsons side character?
Got it.
Good, because I have no idea.
I wish that the question had stopped after the name.
I think this is Sideshow Bob.
That would be my guess too. Because it wouldn't be Krusty the Clown. I'm thinking like clown shoes because that would be too obvious.
Well, I think his name is Kristofsky.
Yeah, he's
Anyway.
He's like a Jewish character, I think. So yeah, I would say Sideshow
Oh.
Bob is probably my guess.
All right, let's go with that. Lock that in.
And locking in with definitely Sideshow Bob.
Yep, both teams are getting credit on this one. That is Sideshow Bob.
Can't man can get the answer to this question.
It's the first one they got right this game.
Yep.
At least we're on
It's
the
only
board.
been 3 questions, so let's take it easy, Jeff.
I mean, with a name like Can't Man, you got to deliver.
Not too bad.
Let's remember Paul Rudd in the first Ant-Man movie. It took him a little while to get the Pym particle thing understood. So it's just going to take us a little bit. We're thieves here. We're common thieves.
Just stealing points.
Yeah.
Where we can.
I'll be Michael Pena.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and the next several questions come from Isaiah Hall. Thank you, Isaiah. I appreciate this very much. Several, yes. He sent me a smattering of them, and I picked my favorites. So
nice.
Question 4 in the round. There are only 2 actors that have been nominated for Oscars for acting in every decade from the 1960s through the 2000s. Name either actor.
You said 2?
There are 2. I specifically mean best actor or best supporting actor.
All right, that changes my answer.
I think one of those is for sure. Or that's for sure. Let me just go through it.
Let's see here.
Let's just lock in.
You just want to lock in? All right, yeah, we're fine. I have a
Okay.
good guess here, so we're going to lock in.
Let's see here.
I'm just going to throw out names. I don't know if any
Yeah,
of these
throw out
are
names.
stupid, like Robert Redford.
That could be because he
Or-
also. I'm not sure what he did. Oh, Horse Whisperer. When was that? Oh man, this is so hard. All right, I can't think of anything better. So let's go Robert Redford.
Okay, lock that in.
So we immediately wrote down one name. We felt really confident about it. I believe he's the most nominated actor of all time at the Oscars, and I'm pretty sure he was nominated each decade. And we put down.
He always gets a front row seat too.
He always gets a front row seat, and it's so bright he has to wear sunglasses. So we put Jack Nicholson.
All right, so the 2 actors that received nominations for those 5 consecutive decades were Michael Caine and Jack Nicholson.
All right.
So,
nice.
well done to Can't Man.
You blow the bloody doors off.
Not again. We've already done this bit.
I know. It never gets old.
No, any excuse for Jimmy Bowes to come back, right?
Oh no, that was Michael Caine.
I failed you.
She was only 16 or so, whatever the line is. I can't even remember. 17.
Please move on.
That aside, we'll move on to question 5. The organization that produces coins in the United States is the U.S. Mint. What organization is responsible for designing and making paper money?
This always makes me think of how cool Australia's money is. and ours is not.
Yeah, there's a weird thing about this.
Speaking of, you owe me a lobby.
A lobby?
Yeah, lobster.
That's a bill.
Slang for, I think, 20?
Oh.
Anyways, there's something weird about this one where the Secret Service is somehow involved.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that?
Well, I know they're involved with money. That's their primary.
I mean, the Treasury would be the other possible answer, but I think Secret Service has something to do with it. So I think we should say that. You said what organization or what?
What organization?
Yeah, let's go Secret Service.
I know that they deal with money primarily, not protecting anyone.
We kind of thought that the Treasury was a little bit too high up on the scale, that it might be out of their purview. So we eventually decided on the Federal Reserve.
And I just remembered a weird fact about the Secret Service somehow being involved in the printing of money, so we said Secret Service.
Well, unfortunately, neither team getting credit on this. The correct answer is the Bureau of Engraving and Printing.
Oh.
So what was I thinking of, Jeff?
The Secret Service? They're the ones who are responsible for trying to figure out and track down like money laundering and other fraud-related things.
I think there was something else, but okay.
Question 6 in the round. The Pulitzer Prize for music had only ever been given to classical and jazz musicians. That is until 2018, when which artist won the award for his 2017 album?
Locked in.
So Neil wrote down Bob Dylan, but his was for writing.
Oh, it's for writing?
Yeah.
Oh, and this is for music. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Could it be maybe Leonard Cohen or Springsteen maybe?
I don't mind that answer.
Because he passed away too.
I can't remember this happening.
I don't remember it happening either.
Let's. I like Leonard Cohen.
Okay.
So you guys mentioned Bob Dylan, and I think he actually won a Nobel Prize rather than a Pulitzer. I think he won the Nobel for literature for his writing. This was kind of a little bit of a controversy last year when this happened because it had never been given to anyone even close to this before. I'm pretty sure that the Pulitzer winner last year was Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, Neil, you're going to be kicking yourself and saying damn on this one because it's Kendrick Lamar.
Wow, okay.
All right. Yeah, well done on that. Question 7. A majority vote happens when a candidate or proposition has over half the votes. What is the word that refers to when one has more votes than any other, but does not have a majority?
So I've been watching Veep. I just started it. I love it. I'm in the 4th season. I don't even know if they've mentioned this word before, and I was trying to think of it, but I can't pull it on my end. So,
yeah, I'm trying to just kind of remember hearing things in the news and stuff like that. Let's say it's not this, but let's just say super majority or sub majority. I don't know.
Sub majority, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, sub majority. We're gonna make up a thing.
All right.
I actually have no idea why it's called this. The word doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I know what they call this is a plurality.
Mm.
So you're locking in with plurality?
Yes.
And in the UK, it's called a relative majority. Sorry, Ken and Neil.
Which makes sense.
But yeah, here in the US, North America, it's known as a plurality.
Yep. Because there's a plural amount of options, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
But it is the most prevalent or popular among the options.
So we're not just adding S's to everything. That's what you're saying. Okay.
We're not.
I'm hoping this, as we keep going, I stop letting you carry the team because I'm not getting any of these right now.
Hey, just when you get a chance to coast, you just coast. You
Yeah,
just enjoy it.
I'm coasting. I'm going to stop locking in. We're going to discuss everything.
I should just shut my mouth because I'm not right on anything.
Then what we need are a few more movie questions because I was absolutely helpless.
Yeah, pop culture.
Oh, the next question is about 2000s emo.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get there, but okay. Question 8 is courtesy of Taylor Cook. This 1999 film with an enigmatic cast featuring Jeffrey Rush, Greg Kinnear, and Janine Garofalo also had one of the first career roles of comedian Dane Cook. If you watch closely, you may notice that Kel Mitchell also made an appearance at the end. What was this movie?
We're gonna lock in.
Like I said, I think I jinxed it because another movie question came up, and I really don't know.
I know. It's 99 is throwing me off a little bit. I'm trying to think of. Oh wait, no, I know. It's Mystery Men.
I don't even know if I've heard of this movie.
Yeah, Janine Garofalo plays like this person who has magical powers where her dad is a head, like a skull inside of a bowling ball, and she like throws it at people. Yeah, William H. Macy's in it too. Yeah, it's all right.
It's basically exactly the same movie as Watchmen.
Yeah, but you have Hank Azaria with spoons and Greg Kinnear with every type of advertisement on his suit.
All right, I think you know it, but what did you guys lock in with?
We also locked in with Mystery Men.
All right, and the correct answer is Mystery Men. Well done.
All right.
Could have used a little more Jack Nicholson, though.
You got him in a previous question.
That's true.
Question 9 is courtesy of Peter Wen. In 1963, the Easy Bake Oven was introduced to the market, promoting the ingestion of undercooked batter all across the country. What company manufactured the original Easy Bake Oven? This company was later acquired by Hasbro, who eventually shut them down, but continued to produce the oven.
I know I had the version of this that was marketed towards boys, the creepy crawlers.
Mm-hmm. I had both. Yeah.
Yeah, you had both.
I had both.
I had no problem eating my sister's treats that they baked in the Easy Bake Oven, though.
So really, I think the question here, is it an actual company or is it like a toy company that Hasbro then bought because toy companies didn't have any business making food? I can't remember which one, Milton Bradley or Parker Brothers. I feel like one of them is not around anymore, and it's got to be that one. Parker Brothers?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're locked in.
Want to lock in with that then?
Yeah, let's do
All right.
that.
Okay, so we're locked in with Fisher Price after some discussion.
That's a pretty good guess. We also took a guess. We were kind of between Milton Bradley and
Parker Brothers.
So we went with Parker Brothers.
All right, so Parker Brothers and America's Ass said it was Fisher Price. Unfortunately, the company was called Kenner.
Kenner?
Yeah.
Should have given me a hint on that one.
I mean, I didn't want to give you a hint on that one, but...
Could have given him we should just call that a Kenner from now on. Like, give him a hint. Give him a Kenner.
We might be able to incorporate that.
Because I need a Kenner for
for every question.
It's like a mulligan, but for trivia. A Kenner.
All right, and question 10, last one in the first round, is courtesy of Megan Harrell. A ready-made created by Marcel Duchamp in 1917, Fountain was removed from an exhibit hosted by the Society of Independent Artists after becoming privy to the question, what is art? What object was Fountain?
Family Love Michael?
Anyone need that again before I mute?
What object was Fountain?
Yes, please.
Correct.
So Fountain is the name
of the piece.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is correct.
Gotcha.
Okay.
What's ready-made, though? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't really get what that is in the question.
Oh, maybe it's like he didn't actually create it. He just placed it. So.
Oh, is it a toilet? Maybe.
Yes, it is.
A toilet?
100%.
I feel that's jogging my memory.
110%.
So
Kenner is super confident.
Okay, good. Okay.
No, I think, I kind of like it because it's just so pompous and obnoxious that's what it would be.
Yeah, I think no matter what, it's going to be a plumbing fixture. I just don't know
I
which
think so
one.
too. Yeah, let's go toilet then.
Okay, let's do that.
All right.
Toilet.
Yeah.
And we
Lock it in with
also
toilet.
came up with the elegant answer of toilet.
After quite a bit of confusion in the studio about ready-made, ready-made basically means it's like a found object, so it was already made. And both teams cued in pretty quickly on the being privy to the question because this is a bathroom-related item.
Oh. I did not catch that, actually.
I did.
Unfortunately, it is not a toilet, though.
Get the hell out of here.
It's a urinal, which
I think
is distinctly
that's
different.
even more pompous. Yeah, that's good.
So it was rotated 90 degrees and had the inscription "Armut" on it. It's a pretty famous piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And after that first round, it looks like Cantman has 30 points and America's Ass leading the game so far, 50 points.
All right, so today's swing round is going to be courtesy of Chris Eve.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
A musical swing round.
Nice.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to name for you 10 artists, and I want the group or groups that each artist was associated with. So some of these are going to have multiples, 2, even 3. So I'll tell you how many I need.
Okay.
Some of these might have more than that, but any 2 correct answers I'll take for credit. So in the case of multiple or...
Okay. So if you ask for 3, any 3 bands that they were in.
Yeah, if they happen to have been in a fourth one, I'll take any
Gotcha.
combination. Yep.
Okay, makes sense.
So if we are ready, I will read through them. Our first one is going to be Kim Deal. I'm looking for 2 groups. Second one is going to be Dave Grohl, just 2 groups. Third one is Amy Mann, 1 group. Fourth is George Harrison, 2 groups. 5 is Chris Cornell, 3 groups.
Ooh.
6 is Bjork, 1 group. 7 is Willie Nelson with 1 group. 8 is Scott Weiland, 2 groups. 9, Joan Jett, looking for 2 groups. And the last is Eric Clapton, 3 groups.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go talk about these in the other room, but Jeff, why don't you tell the people about Patreon?
Yeah, absolutely. So Patreon is the way that we support ourselves on the show here. And we're very grateful to our patrons like Zach and Caitlin who directly support the show financially. If you're interested in doing that and getting a little bit in return, like bonus episodes and signed posters, you can do that at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. And any little bit of support people can provide is very helpful to us.
And without any more discussion, I think all of the answers are locked in. So if you want to read through those questions again, and we'll give our answers.
Absolutely. So I'll start with America's Ass first on all of these. And so on 1, Kim Deal, what were the 2 bands that you had for Kim?
So I decided to split the difference here because I couldn't remember who she was. So I wrote The Talking Heads and Blondie.
All right. I happen to know who this is, I'm pretty sure, because I met all the Pixies except for Kim. And the other band that she's in is The Breeders, who I happened to see along with the Foo Fighters a few years ago.
And Cantman is correct. The 2 bands she's most famous for are the Pixies and the Breeders. All right, second one in the round was Dave Grohl, a little bit more of a notable name. America's Asked, what were your 2 bands for Dave Grohl?
So you could go up to 5 or 6 on this one, I think.
This is one of the handful of these that I think I actually knew independently. I went with the slam dunk ones of Nirvana and the Foo Fighters.
Yep, our official answers are Nirvana and the Foo Fighters, though we could also say...
Queens of the Stone Age, them Crooked Vultures.
Yep.
Many more.
You topped out at 4, you got no more?
Yeah, we're done.
And all of those are acceptable for credit. So Nirvana and Foo Fighters are definitely the most 2 notable ones for Dave Grohl. All right, we're going to send it over to Cantman. Amy Mann, what band did you think Amy Mann was in?
Yeah, so this one's torturing me because I know there's like a huge like pop rock song of the 90s that is a band that Amy Mann was in that I discovered was actually Amy Mann's band, and I just could not come to me. So we just said, due to her featured role in Magnolia's soundtrack, the Magnolia Band.
And America's Ass, what did you think for this one?
I kept mentally confusing her with Amy Grant. So I was
Oh,
really
the
off.
baby.
Christmas music.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just locked in with the Bangles.
All right. Ken, would it help if I said hush hush, keep it down now? Voices carry.
Oh, no. Really? Till Tuesday?
It's till Tuesday.
Get the out of here. Oh, my God. That's 80s, though.
Yeah, late.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that one was going to kill you.
Oh, man.
All right, the 4th artist was George Harrison. What did you say for the 2 bands George Harrison is most notable for, America's Ass?
Well, so the Beatles is fairly obvious. And the other one that we put down is the Traveling Wilburys.
We had the same.
Yep, both teams getting credit. It is the Beatles, obviously. I mean, that one feels like a giveaway. And the tricky one there is the Traveling Wilburys.
Supergroup.
Yeah, one of the true supergroups.
I think we'll have a couple supergroups in this next one, too.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, Chris Cornell. All right, Cantman. What were your 3 for that?
Yes, this is a gentleman that I also had the privilege to meet before his untimely and unfortunate passing. He was performing acoustic with Soundgarden when I met him. So Soundgarden is our first one. His combo group with one of my favorite bands, Rage Against the Machine, is Audioslave. And lastly...
Neil's on a hunger strike over there.
And with Hunger Strike, Temple of the Dog.
All right. And America's Ass, what were your 3 for Chris?
Yeah, so I locked in with Audioslave and Soundgarden really quick, and we could not come up with the 3rd one. I was like, well, maybe he actually snuck into Rage Against the Machine at one point. And so we put Rage Against the Machine, which is Noah's Raw.
No, unfortunately, he wasn't part of Rage. He was part of Soundgarden and Audio Slave. And the third one, notable for their song Hunger Strike, is Temple of the Dog.
With Pearl Jam guy.
With pearls in his mouth, Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder.
So fun fact about Eddie Vedder, in college when we had to do our capstone project, we had to write letters to our fake boss for this project, and we named our boss Dr. Eddie Vedder.
Professor of linguistics.
Yeah. He sends you back a letter. It's just scribbles.
All right. And Bjork, notable really for being just Bjork.
Yep.
But what did you say, Campman? What was the one group she was a part of?
Sugar Cubes, I think.
And America's Ass?
We had absolutely nothing. We just know that Björk is Icelandic, so I picked the only Icelandic band I've ever heard of, which is Sigur Rós.
Ah, nice.
That is an Icelandic band, and Ken was correct. It is the Sugar Cubes, so Campman's getting credit on that one. All right, number 7. I think this one probably caused a little bit more trouble than some of the others. Willie Nelson. What'd you come up with, Campman?
Yeah, so this one was tough. I remember reading his band name. He's one of those artists that you're kind of surprised has a band name behind him. And I was surprised to read it recently. And I kind of remember it either being like patriotic or like associated with Native Americans, but we couldn't come up with a reliable answer. So we just said, and the American Band.
All right. And America's Ass. What did you say Willie Nelson was a part of?
We were kind of like, I thought, I'm like, I only know it as Willie Nelson. So we just locked in with Willie Nelson Band.
All right. So he was a part of the Highwaymen. Does that ring a bell?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds obvious after the fact, but no team's getting credit on that
So I
one.
was kind of wrong on my train of thought anyway, so oh well.
Yep, unfortunately. All right, number 8 was Scott Weiland, and he's a part of 2 relatively famous bands. What did you say for this one, America's Ass?
So we locked in with Velvet Revolver and Stone Temple Pilots.
And Campman.
Want to run to your wicked goddamn.
We had the same.
Yeah, Stone Temple Pilots and Velvet Revolver. Well done, both teams. All right, and there were 2 additional bands now for Joan Jett. So what do you know about Joan Jett, Campman?
Well, I know that as I was on my plane ride back from Europe recently, next to me, my friend Austin, who has been on the show, was watching a Joan Jett documentary. And
that's too much of a coincidence.
And the 2 bands are the Blackhearts and the Runaways.
All right, and America's Ass. What did you say on that one?
I knew that.
Yeah, we didn't have it. We could only come up with the Blackhearts, and I literally have a blank written for the second one, so I guess we're punting on this one.
Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Zach.
And yeah, Campman hit it right on the head. It's the Blackhearts and the Runaways. So good fortune for Ken. Did you know the Runaways?
Yeah, I know. Anyways,
I knew that from the Kristen Stewart movie.
I should have known it from that movie.
Oh, she's good Joan Jett.
Yeah, and then the Blackhearts performed at WrestleMania. They did Ronda Rousey's theme music, which is Bad Reputation.
They did.
Cool.
The last one in the round was Eric Clapton, and I was looking for 3 bands for that. And what did you come up with, America's Ass?
Well, there's a list of about 20 that we could probably pick from, but the 3 that we came up with were Cream, the Yardbirds, and Derek and the Dominoes.
Yep, other than his solo project, the 3 that we were thinking of were Cream, Yardbirds, and Derek and the Dominoes.
And those are the 3 big ones that I had. So both teams getting full credit. So following the swing round, Team America's Ass adds another 20 points, 5 points apiece for those questions, moving to 70 points, and a true swing round going from 30 to 70 themselves. Campman. So it's all tied up after the swing round.
Nice.
Yeah, we've gotten the help of the Wasp, and we've pushed a little further now, so we're getting there.
A white Anglo-Saxon Protestant just came through the door to help us out.
I was excited it was going to be Evangeline Lilly, but...
Hey guys, you playing trivia? I can help.
Why do you always go to that like 1920s voice?
You like questions? I got answers.
You would be great at selling newspapers on a corner.
Yep.
All right, we're going to move on to round 2. Question 1. Fans of Guitar Hero know the difficulty of which 2001 metal song by Tool, which contains 47 different time changes. It's crazy to think that in the end, all the pieces fit.
We are locked in.
My Guitar Hero knowledge is not good.
What about your Tool knowledge?
And nor my Tool knowledge. Oh my god.
By all accounts, I should know because I was a 15-year-old when these games started coming out. So
I like the prevalence of like late 90s, early 2000s music in this game. It's helping me out.
The only really hard song I can remember from Guitar Hero is by Dream Theater, so it's not that. Oh my god. But the hint there is like pieces coming together, and I'm like, I wonder if I'm trying to think of Tool songs. I know, and I don't know enough Tool songs to probably think of this. Jigsaw.
Let's play a game.
It's Guitar Hero.
It's Guitar Hero.
Every time you miss a note, I'll cut off one of your fingers.
I was just saying that could be a very different movie, but
yeah, it would be Zach and Caitlin. Your hands are barbed wire to the guitar player. Complete the level, or your hands will bleed.
I don't. Oh my god, I don't know.
Let's just say puzzle.
Puzzle.
And they're locking in
master.
with Puzzle and Cantman.
Well, Tool is famous for song names that are just short and to the point. I wasn't familiar with what Tool song was actually in Guitar Hero, but he said the pieces, and the song that goes, I know the pieces fit, is Schism.
And so with 47 different time changes, which actually if you like musical notation, this is a very interesting one to look at. The Tool song is Schism. It's probably their most famous song.
Yeah.
Question 2. Ida Tarbell was an American writer, investigative journalist, biographer, and lecturer. She was also one of the leading muckrakers of the Progressive Era and the leading force behind antitrust movements, which ultimately led to the dissolution of What Business, often known for its ruthless and unrefined business practices.
This is going to kill me because as is the life of a question writer, I suppose, I was researching a question with Ida Tarbell.
Because she's a badass.
Yeah. And I had all the notes ready. I haven't written the question yet, and I know all of these details Jeff is talking about, but I cannot remember.
Well, he said unrefined.
Right. Like oil or...
That's what I was thinking, something like that. So does that ring a bell? Coal, oil...
I think it is an energy. That is ringing a bell.
Was Rockefeller the oil guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say Rockefeller.
Okay.
Okay, so Cantman is locking in with Rockefeller. What did you have to say the business she brought down was America's ass?
So Rockefeller was the oil guy. You guys are right about that, but his company was Standard Oil.
And points going to America's ass. It was Standard Oil. John D. Rockefeller. Correct.
I'm pretty satisfied with how close we got there.
Yeah, we knew it was... Yeah, we got there, but...
Because we started at 0.
We did. Right.
It's pretty good.
We got about 75% of the way.
Which is still enough for 100% of no credit, so...
All right, thanks.
You guys don't round up in this game?
No.
The scores would be ridiculous if we did.
Almost only counts in Kent's dating life.
And horseshoes.
And hand grenades.
Yeah.
As I've been told. Haven't played hand grenades yet, but I'm looking forward to it. All right, question number 3. What TV show, named for the town it takes place in, is set in a small town in Kansas, which is literally and figuratively left in the dark after seeing a mushroom cloud appear over nearby Denver, Colorado? The short-lived TV show ran for 2 seasons on CBS.
Okay, I got this one. My boy's in it. We're going to lock in.
All right, I'm trying to remember. Twin Peaks, that had a single season.
Yeah, that ran for 2 seasons.
Oh, it did. Yeah, 2 seasons. Yeah. So I'm thinking, and I thought it was Twin Peaks, Colorado.
Twin Peaks in Kansas?
Kansas? I thought it was in Colorado, though. So that's the only thing. But the Colorado mushroom cloud was throwing me off. But is it Twin Peaks, Kansas? Well, I have no better answer right now, and I'm driving me nuts.
Do you want to just go with Twin Peaks then? Because there's at least an inkling that it could be right.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Let's lock in with Twin Peaks then.
All right. We're locked in.
So this one I knew right away for a couple reasons.
Has your favorite wrestler in it?
He's not in it, but one of my favorite wrestlers it is named after. So around this time, 24 was in season 6, and they did something that they had never done before. Every previous season, Jack Bauer, his catchphrase was, "Where's the bomb? Where's the bomb?" And he defuses the bomb. But in season 6, a bomb actually goes off in Valencia, California, and there's a giant mushroom cloud, which is kind of a crazy twist. And around the same time, for some reason, TV execs were obsessed with mushroom clouds going up. And I think it was the year after this show came out with the ever amazing Skeet Ulrich from Scream.
I presume that's your boy.
And he's my boy, Skeet Ulrich. And the show was called Jericho.
And it took place in a little town of Jericho, Kansas, and sort of an apocalypse type scenario. And it is Jericho. Well done. All right. Question number 4 in the round. Every magician knows that a magic trick has 3 parts: the pledge, the turn, and what 2006 Hugh Jackman film?
Got it. Get out of here. Speaking of Michael Caine.
2006. There's not going to be a darn Wolverine movie.
No.
Is the Prestige? But I can only remember Christian Bale being in that. Was Hugh Jackman in that too?
I don't know. I'm helpless on pretty much any movie, really. But
yeah.
The Prestige was the one thing that I wrote down.
Yeah, because that was the magician one. Although I like the other magician one that came out, The Illusionist, better. But at the same time with Ed Norton. Oh no, it's a much better movie.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, you misunderstand. I am agreeing with you.
Yeah. Okay.
I love The Illusionist.
Illusionist is so good.
Philip Glass, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, so I mean, I would go with the Prestige because that would make sense here.
It fits with the other 2 words.
Yeah, the only other word I could think of was like reveal, but that wasn't a movie. So yeah, let's go with Prestige.
Okay.
Locking in with Prestige.
You guys were so close. If you would have went Kate and Leopold.
How dare you?
Ken, you knew this one right away as well as I did. What did you say?
The Prestige.
Yep. So those are the 3 parts, and the finale is the Prestige.
And then you open up the cage, and there's a dead bird in it, and you're disappointed.
Yeah. And David Bowie loves potatoes.
Yep.
I did quite like him as Tesla in that.
Yeah.
ScarJo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. ScarJo.
I quite liked the Prestige. It's one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies, but
it's in the top 10
because he's done what 9?
About 9 or 10.
All right, and there's going to be not really any spoilers here, but I went on a little bit of a Madonna kick for the whole round, and so all these questions are going to have Madonna in them at some point. So I hope you enjoy that.
All right.
So question number 5. Don't Cry for Me, Argentina was a surprise hit for Madonna, peaking on the Hot 100 at number 8 in 1997. Recorded as the sweeping centerpiece for what film, the song wasn't necessarily a made-for-radio hit single.
We're locked in.
All right, I said Evita.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm done locking in without talking to you now. So.
Yeah. And because it was a musical, then not made for.
Evita.
Yeah.
We also went with Evita.
And you are correct. It is Evita. Well done.
And before we move on, at the start of this round, it looks like the teams are kind of trading blows here. Catman has pulled into a slight lead with 110, America's Ass 100.
All right. Question 6. Material Girl is one of those singles that some people might assume was a number 1 hit. However, it topped out at number 2 on the Hot 100 in 1985. The second most abundant type of matter in the universe is known as baryonic matter. That's the stuff you can actually interact with, and it accounts for 5% of the total mass energy of the universe. What accounts for 27% of the mass energy of the universe?
Well, that took a right turn.
Okay, I wrote down dark matter. I'm not sure if they want something more specific, but...
What in the hell does this have to do with Madonna?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Because... but I'm not sure if that's where they're heading with this. Do you want to lock in with that then?
Yeah, let's lock in dark matter.
Okay, locked in. The dark matter.
Well, dark matter is a term that's always on the top of mine and Neil's minds because it's a very good coffee roastery here in Chicago. It's Dark Matter Coffee, and scientifically we think that's the correct answer as well. Dark matter.
So 68% of the mass energy of the universe is dark energy, but that doesn't necessarily have a mass component. We're not quite sure, but we've hypothesized that the rest of it in between 27% is dark matter. So
hey, points all around.
Nice. Science question.
And that's because we're living in a material world, Neil. So
Now, is dark matter
Okay.
What's the stuff that Thor was trying to get from the bad elves in the Dark World? Was it dark matter?
In the second one?
Yeah.
The ether.
The ether. Oh, okay.
Ether.
all right, number 7. Madonna's first top 10 single, Borderline, was the first of a staggering 17 consecutive top 10s for the singer from 1984 through 89. There are currently 2 sets of countries who are single neighbors with other nations via a land border. One pair is Haiti and the Dominican Republic, sharing the island of Hispaniola. What is the other pair? Depending on how things go, they might not be neighbors for long.
We're elected.
It's Ireland and the UK.
So wait, I guess I'm confused about the question.
It's
like, because it's a single land border, right?
Yeah, 2 countries that only border each other and don't border anything else.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Yep. Nope. All right. I see what you did there. Yep.
Okay, for us, my geography might be off, but I thought one of the Koreas kind of hung off on a peninsula, so I went North and South Korea.
All right. So North and South Korea does have one border with North Korea, but North Korea has 2 additional neighbors, being Russia and China. So I gave the example for that specific reason, and America's ass is correct. So Ireland, the island of Ireland, is separated into Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. So they are the only single land borders with each other.
Good job.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem with Brexit right now, is they're trying to figure out what to do with Northern Ireland. So question number 8 in the round. One of 2 new songs recorded for Madonna's first greatest hits album, 1990's The Immaculate Collection. Which song shares its name with an FX drama which ran from 2004 to 2011? This drama was one of a few shows which cemented the network's place among critically acclaimed content creators.
Okay, guys, we are locked in here.
There was like one that was set in like the Wild West or something, and it had what's his face, who was in Santa Clarita Diet, which is definitely people are sleeping on. I love that show. It was not Justice. It was what the hell was it called? Justify. It was called Justify, which I think
Justified.
is Madonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a Madonna song that's called that.
That is the best thing we have by far.
Okay. You want to do that? Justified?
Yeah, let's go with Justified.
All right, Justified.
So initially we heard Madonna greatest hits in TV, and the first song that came to my head was 4 Seconds, which is Madonna featuring Justin Timberlake and Timbaland. You only have 4 seconds to save the world.
Coincidentally, Justified is a
Justin Timberlake album, his first solo album. So Justified, I think, came out a little bit later because in 2003, when Jeff was mentioning that this would have premiered, Timothy Olyphant, who she was talking about, was on Deadwood on HBO.
I always confuse.
So
look, Mr. Frodo, it's Timothy Olyphant.
And a shame for Santa Clarita Diet that they've canceled it, because I hear it's a great show. So Nip Tuck, The Shield, and Rescue Me were the 3 FX shows that we could think of. We knew it wasn't The Shield because it just doesn't seem right.
I mean, Rescue Me just sounds like a pop song, doesn't it?
It does. And that's what we went with. So we went with Dennis Leary's Rescue Me.
So yeah, running from 2004 to 2011, it was Rescue Me, featuring Dennis Leary, and it was one of the really popular, successful shows for the network that kind of cemented their place as no longer just a rerun network.
Cool.
All right, question number 9. So Madonna supplied the title track from the James Bond film Die Another Day. It became the first Bond tune to reach the top 10 of the Hot 100 since what band's A View to a Kill did number 1 in 1985?
We're locked in.
Oh my God, I've heard this before too. I've had this question before. I can't think of it. I've learned nothing.
Welcome to our world.
I know I've looked at the list of these Bond songs before, and the list of bands that did them is always surprisingly big.
Is it
Like,
Duran Duran?
That is actually the one thing that I wrote down.
Yeah, I think it's Duran Duran.
I know they did one of the Bond songs, and I couldn't tell you which one.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's Duran Duran.
Okay, timing's right. All right, we'll lock that in.
Yeah, Ken did a Christopher Walken impression and said Duran Duran.
And
explain yourself.
Well, Christopher Walken is the villain in A View to a Kill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Grace Jones.
Oh, that reference was so deep that I'm drowning.
Regardless, both teams are getting credit. It is Duran Duran. All right, and the last question in the round, question 10. Keep It Together was the 5th commercial single from Madonna's 1989 Like a Prayer album, peaking at number 8. What fundamental interaction keeps protons and neutrons stuck together?
I don't even listen to the first part of your question.
We're gonna lock in.
It's a real shame. I'm dropping some great Madonna stuff here.
What are you thinking?
I don't know which one it is. It's either the weak nuclear force or the strong nuclear force. Maybe the weak force because, I mean, there are ways that atoms can be blown apart.
Yes. but the whole nuclear fission thing is that's supposed to be really, really hard to do, which is splitting the nucleus of atoms apart, where electrons, when they get excited, just pop off willy-nilly, and that's how you get ions. Right. So I feel like the electrons to the nucleus are the weaker forces, and the protons and neutrons, which are in the nucleus, are the stronger forces.
The electrons, though, would be electromagnetic force, keeping them together because they would be attracted to the protons in the nucleus. Not super confident, but I think we're going to lock in with the weak nuclear force.
Okay. I'm somewhat familiar with the stuff that you guys have been talking about, but I didn't want to get into those weeds with Neil, so I just wrote down magnetism.
Everyday magnets, Ken.
Yep.
Magnetism would be over a much greater distance than this. The weak nuclear force keeps electrons in check and causes decay, and it is the strong force that keeps neutrons and protons bound together.
Oh, sorry.
Poop.
All right, so after that round, you know what that means. It's pretty close. It's 140 to 130 with Cantman just in the slightest bit of a lead. One ant hair away.
One ant hair, yeah, 1 millimeter away.
Yes. So we're going into the final round with some pretty close scores, 140 to 130.
All right, so I didn't intend this at the start of the game, but we've carried a little bit of an Avengers theme through. So I've got some final round categories that you might quite enjoy, being Cantman and America's Ass. And your categories are Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Thor, and Black Widow. All right, so all of the wagers are locked in. So in the category of Iron Man, what 3-time Oscar winner and 5-time nominee started his career in traditional animation, directing films such as The Iron Giant, before moving on to much more heroic pursuits with Pixar? Number 2, the category of Cap. In comparing equivalent ranks across the U.S. Armed Forces, in what branch of the U.S. military is the rank of captain the lowest? In the category of Hulk, Dr. Bruce Banner is exposed to gamma rays during an accident which causes him to become the Incredible Hulk. What type of electromagnetic radiation, which has slightly longer wavelengths and falls just below gamma rays on the electromagnetic spectrum, would Dr. Bruce Banner probably not have had a great time with? All right, the category in Thor. Thor lends his name to more than just billions of dollars worth of box office success for Marvel Studios. As the Norse god, his name is also the namesake of Thursday, literally Thor's Day. The other weekday names in English are derived from Anglo-Saxon names for gods in Teutonic mythology. Name any of the other gods whose names we derive days of the week from. And the category is Black Widow. I did quite a bit of research on this. It's unclear which species of spider is the deadliest, quickest to kill or most effective. So Black Widow's unquestionably ranked somewhere near the top. What is unquestionable, though, is what Goliath spider, named for its prey, is actually the largest, with leg spans up to 11 inches.
Okay, we'll go talk about these.
All right, so everyone's locked in?
Indeed.
Perfect. Yep. All right, so we will go back to the question in Iron Man. What 3-time Oscar winner, 5-time nominee, started his career in traditional animation, directing films such as The Iron Giant, before moving on to much more heroic pursuits with Pixar? Cantman, what did you wager on this one?
We wagered 20 points, which will continue for the entire final round here, 20 points all the way down. This director made Ghost Protocol, which was one of my favorite Mission Impossible films, and that would be Brad Bird.
All right, and what did you wager on this one, America's Ass?
We also wagered 20 points, and our answer is also Brad Bird.
Well done to both teams. Both teams getting 20 points. The correct answer is Brad Bird. And the question in cap. So I'm going to provide a small clarification here. I guess there's a couple answers, and I'm going to go off of pay rank, basically, for trying to figure this out. So in comparing equivalent ranks across the U.S. Armed Forces, you can give me any branch of the U.S. military where the rank of captain would be lowest. And you wagered 20 again, right, Campman?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say for this one?
Yeah, we were going back and forth between branches. We thought Marines might be a good answer, but ultimately we don't know a lot about the Coast Guard, so we thought that might be hiding in there somewhere. So we said Coast Guard.
All right, and what did you wager on this one, America's Ass?
We also wagered 20 on this one, and we had a very similar conversation. We were like, well, what's the Coast Guard? But then we kind of talked around it because the Coast Guard, like, would the captain be the lowest ranking if they're on a boat? Maybe not. And then we ended up locking in with Marines.
All right. So for the Navies, the rank of captain is similar to an Army rank of colonel or an Air Force group captain. So any of the Army's ones are where you're going to find it's lower, and that would be the U.S. Army or the U.S. Marines.
Good.
So, yeah, you'll be getting credit on that one. On to Hulk. Dr. Bruce Banner was exposed to gamma rays during an accident, which caused him to become the Incredible Hulk. Which type of electromagnetic radiation has slightly longer wavelengths and falls just below gamma rays on the electromagnetic spectrum? And I guess you could orient the graph in any way, so I mean below in the sense of intensity. But longer wavelengths is clearer regardless. So, what did you say on that one, Cantman, wagering 20?
Yeah, we had a lot of trouble on this one, and eventually we just settled with ultraviolet.
And America's Ass, I'm going to miss saying that in a few here.
So we had a lot of stuff. This one took us forever to come up with anything reasonable. It was more just things that we could rule out, things that we knew weren't the right answer. And so what we eventually decided on was something that's more extreme than gamma, might be alpha.
All right. So unfortunately, gamma is about as intense as it gets. Those are the shortest wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation. The ones that fall just above that as far as intensity and wavelength, or below in terms of intensity, but longer wavelengths, would be X-rays. And he probably wouldn't have had a good time with those either. So neither team's getting credit and both teams losing points. So Cantman will lose 20 and America's Ass will lose 15 on that one. On to the question in Thor. From the discussion in the studio, I think this is probably going to be good because it seems both teams knew days of the week. So, but I'll lead it in.
I know all 7.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, Cantman, what was your response for this one?
Yeah, we had discussed a bunch of different names. Ken brought up Odin being responsible for one name, which I think is right, but I just knew strongly from researching a little Norse mythology a little while back that I believe Tyr, or however you pronounce his name, Tyr, is the god of war, and I believe he is the inspiration for Tuesday, so that's what we went with, Tyr.
All right, and America's Ass, what did you wager on this?
Yeah, we wagered 5 points on this, and we said Odin for Wednesday, I believe, was the day.
All right, starting strongly there. Tuesday comes from Tyr, the Norse god of war. Tyr was one of the sons of Odin, also known as Woden, the supreme deity after whom Wednesday is named. Similarly, Thursday comes from Thor, as mentioned. Friday is from Frigga, wife of Odin, and the odd one out is Saturday, which comes from Saturn, the ancient Roman god of fun and feasting.
And sitting.
When you said, I thought you were joking or something like, "Oh, poor Woden."
No,
but that's real. Okay,
it is real. Not making this stuff up. All right, so both teams getting credit on that, and the last one was in Black Widow, and like I said, based on my research, I couldn't tell what was deadliest, but there's definitely a biggest spider. And wagering 20 again on this one. What did you say, Cantman?
Yeah, we might be just a hair away from the correct answer on this one, or should I say a feather. I know it eats birds, and I think it's named after its prey, and we said bird killer. Bird killer. Bird killer.
Ken clenching his teeth in that one. And America's Ass, would you say for this one? What was your wager?
Yeah, we wagered 10, and I believe it's the bird-eating spider.
I might be eating crow here.
And the correct answer is the Goliath, which I already gave in the clue, bird-eating spider.
Does it kill it too, though?
I mean, it just wolfs it all down.
They are horrifying. Do not look them up.
All right, with that, I've got all of the final wagers added into the score, and that's going to bring Can't Man up to, or down to, sadly, 120 points. But very triumphant, America's Ass, 170 points. You are this week's cream of the crop.
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah.
Yes, what a comeback.
That is America's Ass right over there.
It is. All the adversity bounces off it because it's so firm and American.
I mean, do you really need to describe it? It takes care of itself.
It does.
Right. So thank you very much, Zach and Caitlin, for joining us today.
Yeah, we appreciate both of you being Patreon supporters. As Jeff said earlier, means a lot to us and the show. And
it's literally the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we couldn't do the show without your support. So
thank you very much for that.
All right. And on behalf of Caitlin and Zach, Ken and Neil in the studio with me today.
And not Matt.
And not Matt.
At his Cinco de Mayo, sponsored by Hellman's.
That was Triviality.
Beautiful.
All right.
How many times can we say ass on this podcast without
just listen to
getting into trouble?
The Big Sean song called Ass. It goes ass, 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 ass.
By my count, that's 43 right now. So